Okay, I'm going to take a look at number 18 now. So when I look at number 18, again, I don't want to start on the right-hand side because sine x minus cosine x, there's nothing I can multiply that by to get rid of that binomial. All right, so I have to start on the left-hand side. One thing I want you to remember, do not multiply this second fraction by 1 plus tangent x. Because if I multiply that, I get 1 minus tangent squared x. That is not an identity. The only identity I can use is 1 plus tangent squared x, which I'm not going to be able to get. So instead, since I have two fractions, I know I only want one fraction. So I better make a common denominator and try to subtract the fractions. So right now that has a denominator of 1. Let's make the denominator 1 minus tangent x. So multiply the numerator and the denominator by 1 minus tangent x. Okay. So I have cosine x times 1 minus tangent x over the 1 minus tangent x. I'm not doing anything with this second fraction yet. All right, now, in order to subtract these, I know I'm going to need to distribute this cosine. So when I distribute this, I have cosine x minus, now think about cosine times tangent, right? Cosine times tangent, which is sine over cosine. The cosines divide out. So cosine times tangent is just sine. Okay. Now, minus cosine x, because I have that common denominator. Okay. All right, let's see. What do I have here? So cosine x minus cosine x, those are gone. So my numerator, I'm left with a negative sine of x. Now, go back and look at what you're trying to prove. I need a sine x, a cosine, a sine, a cosine. Well, I have a tangent here. Since I want all sines and cosines, I know I'm going to have to rewrite this tangent as sine x over cosine x. Now, because I'm going to run out of room, I'm going to do this all in one step, so just try to follow. I have a binomial in the denominator, 1 minus tangent x. The only way that I'm going to be able to combine this is the denominator is if they have a common denominator. So I have sine over cosine. This 1, I'm going to multiply by cosine over cosine. Okay. Because now I have that common denominator. All right, so if I do subtract these, I have negative sine x in my numerator over cosine x minus sine x over cosine x. Okay. All right, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal would be cosine x over cosine minus sine. Okay. All right, now I have negative sine x times cosine x over cosine x minus sine x. I'm so close. The only thing I need to do is factor out this negative. So if I take a negative out of the numerator, I take a negative out of the denominator. Okay, if you take a negative out of the denominator, it actually just cancels with that negative in the numerator, which is how I get sine x minus cosine x. Okay, so that is number 18.